Good evening. The latest news across the northwest now from Granada reports. First tonight, a suspect's been named in connection with the death of a former paratrooper from South Manchester who was shot dead in Ukraine. Daniel Burke, who was 36, went missing from Wythenshawe last August. His body was found in Ukraine the following month. Tests in the UK suggested he'd suffered gunshot wounds to his head and neck. Greater Manchester police say they and Daniel's family have been told the Ukrainian authorities are looking for a man called Abdel Fattah Noreen, also known as Jihadi Adam. Police say the stabbing of an 18-year-old man in Bury was a targeted attack. The victim suffered serious injuries after being stabbed in the arm on Abingdon Avenue in Whitefield. Two men aged 49 and 18 have been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. They remain in police custody. The RNLI has issued a warning to people thinking of going for a walk along our region's coastline over the bank holiday. It comes after a lifeboat crew at West Kirby had to rescue 3 women and their dogs who'd become stranded by rising tides on the Wirral. They'd got into difficulties on Little Eye Island, a popular walking spot. The RNLI says big spring tides pose a particular risk. With the Easter getaway in full swing, Manchester Airport says it expects the number of passengers this weekend to top 320,000. This bank holiday is predicted to beat last year's figures. Dubai, Dublin, Alicante, Amsterdam and Tenerife are said to be the most popular destinations. April could see as many as 2.3 million people travelling through the airport. Now, a plaque's been unveiled at Preston's Deepdale Stadium to honour the country's first ever black professional footballer. Arthur Wharton began playing for Preston North End in 1886, and for many, the plaque is long overdue. Tim Scott reports.
3, 2, 1.
A plaque at Deepdale for one of Preston North End's and the UK's most amazing athletes. Arthur Wharton moved from Ghana to train here as a missionary in 1882. After becoming the world's fastest man, running the 100 metres in just 10 seconds, he became the first ever black professional footballer, playing in goal for Preston North End.
The first black professional footballer up there being acknowledged. It's a real powerful, positive message from the club. This diverse community. It means so much to this community, and you know we're very proud of Arthur and his story.
At long last, I don't have to call for these things. People are doing it for themselves, and this to come from the club and from the community support trust of the club is just a wonderful thing.
There's already a statue and a mural to Arthur in Darlington, where he also played football. For his descendants, the plaque at Preston is another welcome tribute.
It's fantastic. I mean, to see the effort that people are putting in to keep Arthur's name relevant and still in people's minds, it's wonderful.
It's hoped the plaque at Deepdale will keep people talking about Arthur Wharton, so his amazing career won't be forgotten. Tim Scott, ITV News, Preston.
The former Liverpool player Xabi Alonso has ruled himself out of being the club's next manager after confirming he'll stay at German side Bayer Leverkusen next season. Meanwhile, the Premier League returns this weekend. Liverpool will go top if they avoid defeat to Brighton at Anfield on Sunday. They play just before their 2 title rivals, Manchester City and Arsenal, meet at the Etihad.
You would have told me last summer, after the international break in March, you will be around there with Arsenal and City. I would have said, yeah, give me a contract, I sign it now, and nobody knows how it will end up, how it will end. Nobody knows where we will be, but we will give it a proper try, and it starts on Sunday.
Last 10 games in the Premier League, now start the important thing against the leaders of the Premier League of this season at home with our people, and I'm pretty sure they will give us what we need to perform our best.
In the Championship today, Blackburn are currently losing 1-0 at home to Ipswich. That match kicked off at 5:30. Elsewhere, Preston beat Rotherham 3-0. In League One, it finished Derby 1, Blackpool 0. Fleetwood lost 2-1 to Cheltenham. Bolton drew 0-0 away at Stevenage, and Wigan drew 1-1 with Burton. In League 2, Morecambe beat Accrington 2-1. Barrow won 3-1 against Grimsby. Tranmere lost 2-0 to Bradford. Stockport atop after a 3-0 win at Forest Green Rovers. It finished goalless between Gillingham and Crewe, and Salford lost 2-1 to Sutton. The weather now from Joe.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather. Hello, a very good evening to you. It's been a rather changeable week, but the good news is, as we get into the weekend, something more settled ahead. Fewer showers to come for the northwest, more in the way of sunshine, and Easter Sunday is looking generally dry. Low pressure has just dominated all week, with fronts never too far away. A brief respite for Saturday and Sunday in the form of some warmer air, more settled conditions, before it freshens up next week again and the unsettled theme returns. Back to this evening, quite a few showers around, but after midnight we'll begin to notice these dying away and skies will clear. It remains quite breezy with some Irish sea showers continuing. Elsewhere dry tonight, a little bit chilly, 3 or 4 Celsius with the odd pocket of mist and fog before tomorrow morning. On to tomorrow's details then. First of all, the sun times. It will be setting tomorrow evening at 6:44. Saturday should start on a bright note for most places with some sunshine around. There will be a few showers here and there through the day, the Isle of Man in particular, with scope for 1 or 2 during tomorrow afternoon, but lots of dry weather. More clouds certainly through the later stages of the day, but if you're in a bright spell and you're out of the wind, 13 or 14 Celsius shouldn't feel too bad at all. And tomorrow night looks dry with perhaps a few more fog patches as we get into Easter Sunday morning. And of course, the early hours of Sunday, we enter British summertime. The clocks will be going forward an hour, lighter evenings to look forward to, and some good news as well for Easter Sunday. It should be largely dry for our part of the world, with some decent sunshine as well. It's feeling pleasant, but changeable again next week. All bets are off as low pressure's in charge.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thanks, Joe. That's Granada Reports this Good Friday. We're back on ITV1 at 5:45 tomorrow evening. For now, though, from all the team, have a great night.